What are the different types of financial bonds that exist?
We truly fight for your money.
Yes, you can distinguish between different categories. The first, from the issuer side, is this: who is borrowing the money? Because with a bond, someone borrows money and the investors then receive a fixed interest rate in return. And to start with, you can say there are government bonds. That means debt securities issued by governments. And in this case, it's the government itself that is borrowing money. This can be the central government or individual municipalities, or also federal states or cantons that borrow money and issue bonds, pay a fixed interest rate, and repay the money. The same applies to companies. They also borrow money and likewise provide the guarantee framework of interest payments and repayment. So the difference here lies with the issuer. What kind of collateral do I get with the state is basically the trust that the state will repay the money. It's actually very difficult to take real legal action against them. In some situations, attempts have been made to do so.
So top-rated corporate bonds, right? Then you're on the safe side. Can you really say that?
Yes, you can. Well, I'd say it's true in the sense that it's more tangible. If a company doesn't pay its interest, then as a bondholder, I can take over the company. And so in that case, I can see, for example, the company's profits, how much collateral there is. So that's the first important distinction. And then, of course, among companies, there's also the important difference between large corporations in the investment grade sector and the so-called high yield bonds. Those are smaller companies that offer higher interest rates. They're also called junk bonds. They're called junk bonds because in the past, this category consisted exclusively of large companies that suddenly ran into trouble. A well-known example is General Motors, which in the 2000 SO, more than 15 years, gotten into major problems and then went bankrupt in 2008. That's where the name comes from, but today it's often small companies. Nevertheless, they don't have the same level of security as a major player that's making billions in profits. For example, Berkshire Hathaway also issues bonds. So a company that has 300 billion in its bank account naturally has greater security than a young company. But there are also very attractive deals there. And of course, there are also small companies that are quite solid.
Then there are convertible bonds, right? Those are interesting too. Convertible bonds?
Convertible bonds are a very exciting investment category. I think there's hardly any other investment category that meets the needs of private investors, of many investors, so well. Because what do private investors and other investors want? They want to be part of the stock market when it goes up, but they don't want to be involved when it goes down. And everyone struggles with the idea of timing. It's difficult to sell at the right moment because is it just a short-term fluctuation? Is it really going down? With convertible bonds, the mechanism works like this. Just like with regular bonds, I receive a fixed interest payment every year, and at the end of the term, I get my money back. Convertible bonds also have an additional component. Additionally, I can also choose whether I want to take the stock instead of the bond, but not at the price when the convertible bond matures, but at a fixed price that was already defined when the bond was issued. Usually when the bond is issued, this is a premium of 20 to 40%. The crucial point, let me give you a real-world example. This week, a new convertible bond from Fresenius was issued. The stock is currently trading at just over 40 euros, and the convertible bond gives you the option to convert at a price just under 60, so with a premium that is quite significant. But here's the point. If the company performs well and the stock recovers to its previous level, let's say the stock doubles, then I would benefit from that and could convert the bond into shares at 57 if the stock is back up to 80, and I would have made a substantial capital gain. But if Fresenius drops back to its old level and the successes we've seen evaporate and the stock crashes down to 20, then I can say, no, I don't want the shares. I'll just take my money back. And that's a wonderful option. Yes, it does cost me a bit of the performance. If I were 100% sure that the stock would go up to 80, then I'd rather just buy the stock. But this way, I can still participate to some extent, but I'm not involved if it goes down. It's a great protective tool that still lets you participate. Very few retail investors know about this instrument.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Helge. So if you're interested in bonds, if you want to invest in bonds and want to learn more about them, give me a call. I'll set up an appointment with Helga. We'll meet with you and discuss investment opportunities in bonds. I believe that the current situation in particular offers many interesting opportunities to invest very successfully in bonds. And with Helga's help, I have to say I've also built up a portfolio over several years. And I have to say I am very, very satisfied. I'd even say I'm more satisfied than some investors who have been dealing in stocks. So I operate well, he operates for me. He selects a mix of stocks and bonds. And I have to say, I am very truly satisfied with the outcome. If you're genuinely interested in our services, please do not hesitate to give me a call or send me an email at your earliest convenience at contact@swiss-banking-lawyers.com. Thank you very much for your valuable time, and I sincerely hope to see you again soon on my channel. I wish you a wonderful day. Be wealthy and stay wealthy.